G'day, I'm Mark from Self Sufficient Me, and today I'm reviewing 20 gardening products I bought from Temu. I tell you which ones are worth it and which ones get the big old dirty thumbs down. Let's get into it. Now, I wanted to let you know that Temu has not altered this video or influenced how I portray these products in any way. I was going to do this video regardless, but Temu offered to sponsor it, and it happens to be the first sponsored video I've ever done on my channel since starting YouTube 14 years ago. However, Temu did want me to ask you to download the Temu app, of course. The link is in the description below. Also, there's a QR code on screen that you can scan and then enter the code into the search bar of the app, and you can get a $100 AU coupon bundle for free and also get one of the items that I've reviewed today for just $1.90. If you are a US viewer, all the products mentioned in this video will ship from a local US warehouse, so there'll be no customs on these products, so you can enjoy all the discounts offered. Also, with that code, it takes you to a multi-product screen where you can see all the products that I reviewed today with the corresponding discounts. One last thing, the coupon bundle must be used within 24 hours of redemption, so make sure you choose your products and get it done before it expires. Number 1, 11-foot adjustable fruit picker. Climbing ladders to pick fruit is dangerous. So I wanted to try out one of these expandable fruit pickers. I was a little apprehensive about the small box it came in, but you know what they say about small packages. This one extended much further than I expected. The pole was easy to put together and it feels sturdy. The basket and steel picking helpers are strong, but does it work? I tested it on our yuzu tree. I believe this fruit also originated in China over 1,000 years ago, so it's fitting to pick it with something else made in China. I like it and I'll be using it regularly. I'm sure my wife is happy now that my feet are firmly on the ground and not up a ladder. I give it a thumbs up. Number 2, worm compost bin. I usually bury my scraps in the garden. However, this device caught my eye as a potential permanent worm feeder that you just keep topping up, so I was keen to test it out. For some reason, this product seemed bigger on the Temu website than it does in real life. I'm not sure who or what situation this design is for. I guess it's for someone who doesn't create much kitchen scraps because you can't fit much in. Anyway, looking back at the product page on the website, I can see that it does have the measurements there. It's my fault, I suppose, for not getting out the measuring tape and checking it out properly. But still, a proper in-ground worm composting bin like this design needs to be at least 4 times bigger to make it useful, in my opinion. So I'm giving it a thumbs down. Number 3, reusable plastic plant clips. I've got a confession to make. I've used these before. My barber, Gary, hopefully is watching. He's probably not, but he gave me some of these to use a couple of years ago and I really liked them, so I wanted to get some more. Tying up tomatoes or plants to trellises can be tedious work, especially if you're using twine, but these clips make it so easy. They are reusable, easy to use, time-saving and durable, and I give them a thumbs up. Number 4, cut-resistant arm sleeves. I don't like wearing gloves or protective gear, but sometimes it's smart to protect yourself from harm when you're gardening, especially in thorny bushes or trees. An old injury I got from my army service means that I've got limited feeling in my right arm. So I have to be careful not to hurt it and scratch it or stab it accidentally because I won't know. So I thought I would give these sleeves a try. If we go back to the yuzu tree, it has many long sharp thorns, so picking fruit or pruning the tree is tricky. I found these sleeves did the job of protecting me from scratches and some pokes. You still have to be careful, but they allow you to work a bit safer and faster. They fit comfortably and are easy to put on and remove. They feel like they're good quality. I give them a thumbs up. Number 5, plastic plant protectors. Usually I prefer to direct sow seeds into the garden, but the problem with that is they can sometimes get eaten by rodents or insects or other animals. I've used homemade wire mesh covers and other plastic types of protectors, but I needed some more, so I decided to give these a go. I first noticed how flimsy they were. The thin plastic doesn't hold its shape and it makes it harder to position or dig in properly. Having said that, it did do the job over the past few weeks, but I'm not sure how long this material will last, and I'm not into use once and throw away plastic products. I just think they need to be firmer and more durable. Thumbs down. Number 6 is Olla or Olla slow watering clay containers. These are a good find because they're prohibitively costly due to being trendy and in somewhat demand at the moment. But I found for these 4 in a set, good value. Plus I found that they work as described, which for those who don't know, works by slowly seeping water through the walls of the bottle to give your plants access to water whenever they need it. It saves water, time watering, and remembering to water. We've found it great for indoor plants as well, which tend to get neglected and either under or overwatered. Just fill up the bottle about once a week and your plants will be all happy for it. I give it a thumbs up. Number 7, the Whippersnipper Wheeler. I didn't think I would like this product so much, but the reason I got it was for my wife. She loves mowing the lawn, and the other day she said, "Mark, I'd do the whippersnipping if your brush cutter wasn't so blooming heavy." So I saw this wheel attachment and I thought I'd give it a go, and I was more than blown away. I was shocked. Yes, the packaging looked a bit cheap and the name was a little odd, but by jingoes, by crikey, it's a great product. Firstly, it does what it's supposed to do, and that's turn a whippersnipper into a wheeled whippersnipper, which takes the pressure off the arms and back, but still cuts unimpeded and remains light enough to lift up and use like I usually do. It's easy to assemble, no tools needed due to its clever design. It's easy to adjust if needed, and it's simple to attach or remove from the brush cutter shaft. I've given it a good bash around, and I think if you look after it, it would last a decent amount of time. And I reckon it's good value for the price. Now my wife can cut my grass anytime she wants. I give it a thumbs up. You've made it past 7, congratulations. Now I'll tell you a secret. There are 2 more bonus products and I'll show you them at the end after number 20. I think you'll like them. Number 8, banana bags. The reason why some people bag their bananas is it assists with ripening, it protects from sun damage, it also protects from insects and sometimes other animals. My first impression was it felt cheap, and I do remember the description of the product said it was durable and reusable. I don't think so, because it feels as thin as tissue paper. I mean, if you're careful, you might be able to get a few uses out of each bag, but I'm not impressed. Plus, we have possums and fruit bats that love to visit our banana trees, and you can see what a quick mess they've made of these bags. And they're starting to chew into our ripening bananas. Not good. Even getting into the green ones here. Have you heard the saying, couldn't fight their way out of a wet paper bag? Well, even that person could fight their way out of this. I can't recommend them. Thumbs down. Number 9, bucket or barrel screen cover. I like to make my own fertilizer, and I often do this by fermenting fish scraps and other offcuts in a bucket of water. I know, it sounds awful, doesn't it? And it can get a little bit stinky sometimes and attract flies or mosquitoes and our dog. It will fit most buckets and barrels with a simple draw cord to tighten and fix neatly around the top. It's cheap, it does the job, and it gets the thumbs up. Number 10, reusable tree protection mats. I got these mainly to put around small trees to keep the grass and weeds away, but you could use them in the vegetable garden in a similar way. The material is permeable so the water can soak through, and I like the size. However, it isn't heavy or thick enough to do the job. I reckon they need to be at least a centimetre thicker for it to be good enough. I've had to weigh the mats down to keep them in position, and this works to some extent. However, it's not ideal. So I'm giving them a thumbs down. Number 11, solar clip-on landscape light. I don't like going out and visiting the vegetable garden at night here in Australia. There are too many poisonous things out here that want to bite you. But sometimes unprepared me needs to grab some veggies for dinner or walk down to lock the chickens up. It's fine to take a torch, however, it's even better if the path gets automatically lit up for you, which is why I got this clip-on solar light. The light has several settings, it's easy to use, and it has a clip to mount it practically anywhere as long as it gets some sun to recharge the batteries. It has been through some good thunderstorms, so it's proven its waterproofness, and it puts out a decent enough light to illuminate the area. I give it an illuminating thumbs up. Maybe I should put that landscaping light on those bunches of bananas down there to keep the critters away. Number 12 is a compact food scraps bin. I thought I was taking a real gamble buying this compost bin for our kitchen without first running it by my wife. Thankfully, it worked out well. We collect our own kitchen scraps and recycle them in the garden. Until now, we had a generic plastic container sitting on the bench top, taking up space. It wasn't ideal. However, this little bucket can be mounted in several different ways, such as on the inside of the cupboard, the outside, on a wall. We have ours in the pantry on the outside of our main rubbish cupboard, underneath our chopping board, and we are loving it. It's a good size, not too big or small. It seems to be good quality for plastic, and best of all, my wife likes it, and it kind of matches our decor. I give it a thumbs up. Number 13 is this plant potting mat. Gardening can get messy, especially if you're potting up plants. I seem to always end up with an overspill of potting mix, so I decided to give this product a go. I like the concept of an easy to store mat that folds out when you want to use it and up on the sides to capture any spills, but I think the execution has let them down, with the sides being too loose for my liking. And I'd also like to see bigger studs, because these press studs seem cheap and easily breakable with more use. Yeah, it's only $5, but look, it still gets the thumbs down. Number 14 is this 8-litre battery-powered sprayer. If you've used a manual pump sprayer regularly, you'd know what a pain it is to keep pumping it and pressurizing the sprayer. So the thought of simply pressing a button and releasing the liquid, like pointing a magic wand, was too good to resist. I don't use a sprayer for pesticides in our garden, but I do use them as foliar sprays for liquid fertilizers or tonics to help our plants and trees grow better. I like to use my own homemade liquid tonics, diluted to a light tea colour and sprayed liberally over our crops. This battery-powered sprayer was easy to assemble. It's charged via USB, so no batteries are needed to be changed. I think the size is perfect, not too big to make it heavy, but not too small to require frequent refills either. I give it a thumbs up. Number 15. Vintage metal gardening sign. If you've got a sense of humour, like most gardeners have, you might want to decorate your garden with one of these vintage, humorous, gardening themed signs. I like it. It's metal, so it won't crack in the sun, but it might eventually rust. Even so, I get a chuckle every time I walk past it. And there are a heap of different designs and slogans to choose from, so there's sure to be something there that tickles your fancy, or a dad joke that really annoys your kids, or whatever your intention is. What do you think? Thumbs up. Number 16 is a potato grow bag, and I've seen these bags advertised over the past few years quite a lot with this flap in the base So against my better judgment, I thought I'd get one. I know that the flap is meant to be an accessible window into the bowels of the plant to see how the potatoes are developing, but you should wait for the potato plant to die back before harvesting anyway. So I'm not seeing the big innovation here. As far as quality goes, it's a decent grow bag for the price. I like the drain holes and the size is appropriate. It should last several years. I'm just not sure what you would use this flap for, unless it's for educational purposes. Maybe you want to teach kids. Yes, you could harvest young potatoes as they grow. Not really. Look, overall, it's trying its best, but I'm going to have to give it a thumbs down. Number 17, plastic gardening clips. Now these are different to the ones that I showed in number 3. These open a different way, like a clamp, by pulling back like this. Voila. I can see them being used to train smaller vines up trellises and lightly clamping a potted plant to a small bamboo stake so it grows straight, that kind of thing. But I was worried that this steel mechanism here would start to rust. And I did wonder how long it would take for them to rust. So I left a few here in the garden bed. I sprayed them with some bore water and left them out for about 2 weeks, and here they are. They look pretty good. You get 50 of them in a pack for $5. I think that's good value and it's worthy of a thumbs up. Number 18, heavy duty trellis. I must admit I haven't used this yet, but I have rolled it out and had a good inspection of it, and the quality and feel seems good. This type of put up and pull down trellis material is handy for situations where you want a temporary structure for veggies like climbing beans or peas. It rolls out to a good 5 meters. There's nothing on the market like quality nylon netting that folds up this small for storage, yet is strong and durable for years of use. It gets a thumbs up. And speaking of nylon, number 19 is nylon support straps. This here is 5 meters long. Doesn't look like that, but this is exactly what I was looking for to tie up plants and small trees to stakes or supports. Due to the hook and loop fastening mechanism, it's easy to tie up and it's easily adjustable. I just made that sound more complicated than it is. Simply, it just pulls apart and sticks together, so it makes it easier to attach and to adjust if you need to. It works as described and it should last more than one single use. I give it a handy thumbs up. Number 20 is this mesh plant enclosure. If your potted plants are getting hammered by grasshoppers and grubs, snails and slugs, these mesh plant enclosures are the bees' knees, and they will stop bees too. So be careful what you do grow in here. You don't want something that needs pollinators to get to, like flowering plants. What you want is crops like cabbage, broccoli, or other salad crops. They do work well, but I'm not sure about this one due to the quality of the materials. I doubt it would last a season in the Australian sun before breaking apart. Also, the zippers feel cheap and dodgy to use. I don't think they'll last too long. Plus, I think overall, this is overpriced. Thumbs down. Now, I promised you a couple of bonuses, and the first one is this Tungsten diamond tool sharpener. This was another surprise for me. How can a small tool like this sharpen secateurs so well? I bet someone in the comments section writes that, Mark, you're ruining the blade on your tools by using something like this to sharpen it. But I don't care, because it works, and it works fast, and it's a cinch to use. You just run the little head of this tool along the cutting edge of your secateurs a few times, that's all that's needed, and Bob's your auntie. It'll make your secateurs sharper than your mother-in-law's tongue. Thumbs up. And the second bonus is this fold-up composting bag. I could imagine this would be useful for people that are more mobile, like renters or those living in smaller places. It would be something you can fold away, store, and then pull out on the odd occasion. Also, due to being fully enclosed, it's less messy and less likely to leak out moisture, so it could be a better choice for concrete landings or the floor of a shed that you don't want stained. I've loaded this up with wood chip and leaves, and only time will tell how this breaks down. The flap on the front is meant to be a checking and harvesting window. You can open to see how it's breaking down and if you want to grab some to use. But once it's full, I wouldn't try grabbing or using these grab handles because they'll surely break. It's just too heavy to lift by these things. All in all, it feels pretty good quality, and that bottom flap I thought might start pushing out the more pressure I put in there, but it hasn't. I'll give it a tentative thumbs up to finish up. Well, I tried to be as fair as I could. Now, the only reason that I give some negative reviews here and a few thumbs down is to help improve these products. I don't mean to garbage people or their products. I know people put a lot of R&D and work into designing their products, and they hope that they do well. So that's not my intention to bring them down. It's just hopefully they can improve on them in the future. Having said that, there are a lot of products out of this list that did very well and actually genuinely did surprise me. I'm very happy about that. So if you enjoyed this video, if you got some value out of it, make sure you give it a big thumbs up yourself, share it around, that really helps, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye for now. Cheers.